Well, hey, Diet Disruptors, happy Monday. Look at it. I got a couple of people with me today that are going to join us. Coach Michelle K is here and Coach Jess. Hey, ladies.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, and it's early for Michelle. She's on West Coast time. Jess and I are on East Coast time. Jess has already had like a day of work pretty much at this time. So we are here today. We're so excited. We have a bunch of people that are starting our 4 weeks to wellness lifestyle launch today. And so prep week starts for a week and then they'll start kind of really learning how to eat healthy and correct. So I'm just want to give a shout out to all those people that are committing to themselves and they know this is the last nutritional advice they'll need. Are you guys excited? Don't you love when we have a new group starting?
Yes, so exciting.
And so we're, we only open our 4 weeks to wellness a few times a year. And inevitably we always get a bunch of people that are like, well, what can I do? What can I do in between? So today we are going to give a lot of real, just hardcore, strategic, and just practical advice about a typical day in the life of a diet disruptor. And I think we all lead really busy lives. This was made for people with busy lives, even though we eat a lot. So I can't wait to share with everybody kind of what we do on a daily basis. Sound good?
Sounds good. Real life.
It is going to be real life. All right. So one of the first things people say, and Jess, I'll ask you about this first. One of the first things people say is, like, I can't eat that many times a day. Like we fuel our body with food, right? And we eat all day long. Let's just give a little foundation for people that are either new or aren't quite sure what we do. What are we doing, Jess? Why are we eating all day long?
All right, so we're eating all day long because we want to keep our blood sugar stabilized, right? So we need to do that within an hour of waking up. Otherwise, our blood sugar is going to drop and we're going to be playing catch up all day. And then once we start on that first hour, we're eating every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day to do that, to balance our blood sugar. And if we're balancing our blood sugar, then we're boosting our metabolism and we're actually going to feel hungry every 3 hours. So you might think it's a lot to eat, but once you start doing it and your body adjusts, you get hungry every 3 hours. And it's actually the perfect amount of food for you to be eating.
It is, right? All day long, you're like, ready to eat, satisfied. Ready to eat, satisfied. Yeah. And so you even just said, okay, so when we balance our blood sugar, and this is what's so different about diets out there. When you Google and go on the Facebook for weight loss, everybody talks about deprivation and deficit and all of that kind of stuff. I always say, when is a deficit a good thing? But nobody ever sees blood sugar stabilization as the path towards being able to get to your optimal weight, because it's actually the path to optimal health. And when you get to optimal health, you get to optimal weight. So boosted metabolism is one thing, but Coach Michelle, what are the other amazing benefits of blood sugar stabilization?
Well, one of the first things that I notice and I hear my clients tell us all the time is that our energy just goes through the roof almost immediately. So when you have a lot of energy, you feel more positive, you're more productive, and that just ripples out into everything. Your confidence level grows, and most of our clients tell us they sleep better. And of course, sleep is a key factor in reaching our optimal health. And all of these factors are amazing results almost immediately once we start the 4 weeks to wellness.
It really is. And this is what I always say, weight loss is a symptom of health and hormones, right? When you are gaining weight and you have a hard time losing it. And I mean, like, people will tell me they've been on a diet for 20, 30 years. Like, at what point are we going to start listening to our body and be like, okay, y'all, this isn't working? So it's our body keeps gaining weight because we're not at that optimal health and our hormones are out of whack. And I think those are some of the pieces that we don't always recognize. Our body tells us when we start doing it correctly. Even if we're not shedding weight super fast right away, we know that we're doing this correctly. Jess, you always talk about bedtime with your kids.
Oh, yeah.
Before and bedtime after.
Yes, it was such a big change for me. And it wasn't something I was thinking about when I started this lifestyle. It didn't occur to me that this was related to my nutrition. But I used to, when I put my kids to sleep every night, I put my son to bed last, fall asleep in bed with him literally just about every single night. Like I'd be gone for like an hour, 2 hours before my husband would find me. And like the whole night was shot. I spent my whole day working with my children and then I slept the rest of it away. And then after I started fueling my body properly, I had energy at the end of the night. So I would put my son to sleep and then I would be able to do other things. I would be able to have time with my husband. And it was like getting a whole nother life back.
Yeah, so the people, that is a perfect segue into what we really want to talk about. Because people are like, I don't have time to eat this much. I'm like, trust me, you almost get time back in your life when you have more energy. But this isn't about working harder. It is just about being smarter and intentional. We're not, you know, one of the things that I always talk about is like, if I go out and I have like a big meal in front of me, it's not that I can't have that meal, but a big, huge meal will spike my blood sugar. When I spike my blood sugar, I'll store fat. When I'm really, really hungry and my blood sugar is super low, I start pulling nutrients from my muscles because my body's trying to balance its blood sugar on its own. So when we do that all day long, we're on a blood sugar roller coaster and we store fat. And our hormones get all messed up. And that's when we start gaining weight. And we've done that our whole life, whether you're eating healthy or not. But here's the thing. If I took that big meal and divided it into 2 smaller meals, so like sometimes I go to a restaurant and I'm like, I'll wrap the half of it up and then I'll eat the second half a few hours later. So it's not like it's extra work. It's not like I have to do extra. It's just very cool because a meal that I really enjoyed, I get to enjoy again. And there's no guilt. But let's talk about what life looks like on a daily basis. So Michelle,
Yes.
there are 3 different ways that we eat. Can you share with everybody? Like it's like very, very, I want to say it's just really simple and a little bit formulaic, but yet completely, what's the word I'm looking for? It like adapts to anybody's lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what are the 3 different ways in which we eat, Coach Michelle?
And these 3 different ways also just really help keep it simple and keep it sustainable.
Yeah.
So we have our recipe subscription, which is amazing. And all the recipes are already balanced for you. So you don't have to really put any extra brain power into that.
And I wish we didn't have to do that because it's so much work.
I know we do the work for you.
Oh my God.
But the recipes
out there that is giving you the right balance of PFC and healthy.
Right.
But anyway,
so we do that for you. And there's recipes every month that come out. So it's ongoing, especially, you know, they're seasonal. They're wonderful. And then we have our grab and goes everybody's busy, right? So we incorporate our grab and goes, which are simple things that we have on hand. And you can grab 2 or 3 things, throw them in a bag and go. You can, you know, eat them on the run, grabbing your kids. You can eat them, you know, right before a meeting. They take a couple minutes to get down and you don't really have to think about it. And then our last choice, an option, are our meal replacements. So we have very high quality proteins and bars that we use that, you know, meet the standards of what we want to keep consistent in our bodies. And we can do 1 or 2 of those a day as well. And so it's just a balance of the 3 to keep it interesting, make it work for our lifestyles, depending on what you're doing that day, and really helps to keep it sustainable and flexible.
Yeah. So 3 ways that we eat: recipes, and we make amazing recipes that you cook for your family. Everybody can eat the same meal. Grab and go, super fast. It's like puzzle pieces that you put together. One time my husband timed out how long it took him to make all of his meals. They were all grab and go. It took him 4 minutes for all of it because we just had it all available. My 14-year-old says, Mom, eating PFC is really easy if you have the right food in the house. So when you have that, grab and go is super simple. And then meal replacements, protein shakes, protein bars. I mean, if we're eating 5 to 6 times a day, replacing 2 of those meals with a protein shake or a protein bar is so fast and easy. Then you're not really even eating more than you normally would, but you're fueling your body correctly. All right, Jess, so you are a busy teacher, coach, mom, all of those things. You're in hybrid mode right now, which is why you get to do this with us. So we're so excited. But let's say you're in a busy day of school. Walk us through a typical day in Coach Jess's life where she eats PFC and can be a busy teacher.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm a library media specialist, so I have a different schedule than even most teachers do. I'm in middle school, so I have a flexible days are different all the time.
Jess, hang on
Kind
one
of
second. I'm gonna just
Yes.
I'm gonna turn off your video for 1 second. Those people that are watching this on the podcast won't matter, but you're just breaking up a little bit, and I want to make
Okay.
sure that everybody can see you. I mean, hear you. So this is the beauty of going live. All right, I'm gonna stop your video. I don't know how to do that.
I'll stop my video.
All right. If you do that, that might help. All right, go ahead.
All right. So is this better?
Nope.
All right,
Yep.
perfect. All right. So I don't know what got.
So we heard you say that you're a library media specialist and your schedule is a little different than other teachers.
Right. So it's not like I can kind of plan my meals around classes or whatever. I have to just kind of make things work. So, I mean, I'll start from the beginning of the day. First of all, I get up early. I get up at 5 o'clock so I can get my exercise in before the work day. And so the one thing that we were talking before about the grab and goes, I'll have a half a bar before my workout. And that's perfect because I don't have time, A, to make something big before I work out, and B, I don't want to sit down and eat a big meal before I exercise. So that's really great for me. And then I'll eat another meal before I leave for the day when I'm going into the building.
So what will
In the
that
building,
before
so the other meal I'll have will be a little bit more of it'll be more like a grab. I'm sorry, it was a meal replacement was the R1. It was the protein bar. And then the grab and go is like my breakfast. So I'll have something like cinnamon eggs, which is egg whites with cinnamon and strawberries. Or I'll have turkey bacon with the rice roller cereal. Something that's relatively quick, but a little bit more involved than the protein bar.
Okay, so
And then I'll bring.
You're doing a half a protein bar before you work out. After you work out, you're kind of cooking something, but it's kind of like a hybrid where you're cooking a meal and a grab and go. Oh, did we lose her?
Oh, no.
Oh, lovely.
I'm sorry.
All right, so we got you up to your second meal where it's kind of like a hybrid cook, grab and go kind of a thing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'll bring 2 meals with me to work, or 3, depending on what kind of day it is, depending on how long I'm going to be there. I'll always bring at least 1 meal replacement with me, so it's usually a bar. And then for lunch, honestly, most of the time, I end up with leftovers from what I made the night before from the recipe subscription. So many of them make so many servings, which is, I love that. I love to have leftovers. In fact, I just made the lasagna, the chicken lasagna from, I think it was this month's subscription.
That was good.
And have leftovers of that. So I'm super excited about that. That was delicious. So I'll usually do that. Then in the afternoon, I'll usually do a shake. And if I'm at work, I'll do the shake there. If I'm at home, a lot of times by that time, I'm picking up my kids. And if it's nice out, I'm going for a walk with them to pick them up. And I'll actually drink the shake while I'm walking down the street, pulling the wagon with all the junk in it. So it's nice because not only is it a quick, option for me to grab and go, but I can literally drink it walking down the side of the road.
Yeah, I love that. And I do like shakes a little better than bars.
Right.
Because you can add some whole foods to it, make it PFC balanced, and it's a little bit of a healthier, especially as long as it's like a complete plant-based protein shake.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, but one of the things that I do also is I have at work, I have a basket in my office that's like my emergency meal kit. And I have that there for 2 reasons. The first is because my mornings are crazy and I'm always afraid that one day I'm going to forget my lunch at home, my bag. I say lunch, but there's the 2 to 3 meals in there. And I'm terrified I'm going to forget that. So I need to have the backup. And it's also good because if I have something that I need to heat and sit and eat, but then my schedule gets crazy that day and I don't have time, I have some grab and go items that I can literally run into my office between students coming into the media center, and I will really quick scurry and eat those things. Sometimes I've even taken a bar with me to the bathroom to eat really quickly in between because I'm not going to skip a meal just because my day gets crazy.
Oh, I love that. That's super smart. I have with my kids actually have to do that because in school they don't always have time.
Yeah.
So then you've done your shake, and now after that, is that like dinner time?
Yeah, then it's a dinner time, which I do the recipe subscription for my dinners. And then I'll have one more meal before bed, and then I usually do one of the quick grab and goes for that too.
All right. I love that. I love that. I've recently done the chia seed pudding.
Mhm.
That is so darn good. And it is like decadent to have before you go to bed. It's crazy that you feel like you can have that before you go to bed. All right. I love that. That is a day. Think about it. Jess is like working all day. So you're doing a half a bar when you wake up. You're making some sort of a breakfast, like quick eggs or turkey bacon and some carbs with it. And then you bring a bar and leftover meal from the night before. And then you have a shake when you get home with your kids and then dinner.
Mhm.
It's just about thinking about it. That's awesome. All right. Now, Michelle, you work from home right now. I mean, eventually you're going to probably be back in the office, but what is typical PFC day like for you working from home? Because I know there's this idea, and I think so many of us can realize this now, working from home doesn't mean you're any less busy.
No, maybe more. And I have done this. I mean, prior to COVID, I was in the office and I have very long hours, whether I'm at home or in the office. Actually, at home, it's harder to actually turn off and separate. So I often work longer. My days are like 10 hours long. So I start very early and I don't have a lot of time during the day to stop and go. Even though my kitchen is 5 or 6 feet away, I don't have time to go start preparing a meal. Especially 5 or 6 times a day. So it's the same format as if I were to take it with me. I just don't have to actually pack it up, which is, I'm enjoying that right now. So I also get up very early. I have a lot of similarities to Jess. I get up very early to have my morning time and to work out. And I will have half a bar before I work out. I've usually been up for maybe half an hour and then I'll have half a bar because I'm not really up for eating, even if I'm hungry. Like mentally, I don't want to be eating, but I know it's important. So I'll eat half a bar and then I will go work out, take a shower. And then usually as I'm starting work, I will have my shake. And I actually make my shakes ahead of time. I'll make 4 or 5 ahead of time because I don't even have time to go make a shake in the morning, as simple as that is. Take out the ingredients and lay them all out. So I like to make
about it. Yeah. If you make 1 or 4, it takes almost the same amount of time.
Exactly. And that's about how many I make at a time. And they're fine. They're delicious. So I'll grab it, shake it up a little bit and, drink that as I'm starting work or if I'm going into the office when I get to work. Because again, it's not like having food all over my desk. It's simple. It's easy. Yeah. And then a few hours later, I try and look at my schedule ahead of time, figure it out. I will have, right now my go-to is also turkey bacon, maybe half an apple, a few almonds. Sometimes I'll do turkey slices, something simple. Just depends what I have in the house. Those are some of my favorites. And then lunch is I usually do 1 or 2 recipes on the weekend. Because my days are so long, I don't always have time or feel like cooking even after. So I usually do 2 recipes. One will be like lunches and one will be dinners. And sometimes, I'll alternate them. I love making extras. Sometimes I will even put a couple servings in the freezer if it's like one of our chilies or something that freezes really well, our burgers, turkey burgers, just because every so often I won't have groceries or I won't feel like a grab and go, but I really want to eat something that's more like a meal. And then I'm like, oh yes, there's a turkey burger in the freezer. Yeah. I always have greens on hand. So I will have, leftovers, or I will like put a bunch of greens in a bowl and plop whatever protein I have made. Sometimes I'll just make like a bunch of salmon or chicken ahead of time. It doesn't have to even be a recipe. Yep. But I always make sure I have some proteins cooked. And then mid-afternoon, when I was in the office, I would either bring a bar or another shake. Now that I'm home, sometimes I like to play around with our protein powder and make like a quick pudding, or on the weekend, I'll make muffins with our protein. And so I'll usually have something that's another replacement, but that has, if it's the muffins, they have other whole foods in there. So they're a little bit more filling than just a bar, or a little more nutritionally satisfying than just a bar. Yeah. And then when I'm off work, so occasionally I will cook, but a lot of times I will have something at least pre-prepped already, if not already made. and heat that up and enjoy that. And depending on how late I'm up, I will often do like the other half of my bar, like an hour before bed or half hour before bed. And it's great. And I'm hungry when it's mealtime, and I'm not usually hungry in between. I drink my water, and I really don't have to think about food because I already know how to do the program. Once you learn it, it's very simple. It's all about having it in the house, having it available. I keep, similar to Jess's basket on her desk, I keep things that will last in my car. I have a little bag in my car under my seat. I always have a bar in my purse. I don't ever want to be caught, going like more than 4, 5, 6 hours without having something that I can eat.
I couldn't even go that long. I would be a hot mess.
Yeah.
It would be a hot mess. So I do exactly what you guys do, really, truly. There's some go-to, like I love hard-boiled eggs so much. So one of my favorite, I always post this in our membership group. I do hard-boiled eggs, and I do the avocado mash, and I literally just mix it up super fast, a little cup from Costco, and throw it on thin stackers. It's ridiculous how good that is. And it is as fast as it could be. So that's one of my go-tos. I do grab and go or protein shakes all during the day. And then I cook a dinner at night. But I also love Vermont turkey. Jerky is a great protein and a fat. That's a quick grab and go. I love shrimp cocktail with cocktail sauce and some clean crafted wine. That might be something I do at night. So the bottom line is it doesn't have to be hard. It can be super fast. I'm actually traveling on Wednesday, and I know I'm going to pack a bunch of stuff with me, grab and go. It will take me minutes to do. I have the little travel protein. I can even have it with water if I have to. It's always easy to have like a little bag of nuts and dried fruit as a carb and a fat. And then if I have a protein shake with water, that's actually easy and simple. And it's hard to find protein shakes that taste good with water, right? So, Jess, I feel like you might be able to turn your camera back on. Let's try it.
Come back, Jess.
Afraid to.
So beautiful. You got makeup on, unlike me.
I can't because you stopped it.
Oh, I did? I stopped your video? Great. Well, let's start you back up again, girl. All right. So one of the things that I know is like people, if doing the 4 weeks to wellness, it wasn't the right time financially or just the time commitment. But lots of people know that this is the lifestyle they need to lead. And so we have ways that people can dip their toe in so that they're not waiting until like, what's the next, like maybe the fall when we do it again. And so one of the ways that we do that has been wildly successful and very, very popular is our Shake It Up program. And so what I love is I always say no program should ever be based on a product. The program, the approach you should be able to do and have and know, regardless of whatever products you choose to use. Mm-hmm. We recommend certain products because we've done our homework and we know if you're going to put something in your body, it's got to have certain things in it, right? So by replacing, even if you don't get all of your PFC meals totally on point, right? You're not really sure what they all are, but you can replace 2 of them with a balanced PFC protein shake. You are going to be well on your way. Do you guys agree?
100%.
Yeah. We just had somebody in our membership group say, does anybody else like lick the cup with your protein shake? Because they want every last thing. That's how good the protein shakes are that we love. So the Shake It Up program lasts 2 weeks. It's going to start May 31st. And all you got to do is get 2 bags of protein. If you get 2 bags of protein, we are then going to give you a grocery list for all the things to buy. And then you are going to get 2 protein shake recipes a day for 2 weeks. And so it is an easy, simple way to replace 2 of your PFC meals with a protein shake. We'll also give you lots of tips. We'll help you to understand the concepts that we teach a little bit more. And this is such an inexpensive way to commit to yourself for 2 weeks to learn a ton. And the comments that we get are just so amazing. We always come up with new shake recipes, and I love it. All of our coaches are incredible. They are always like working on new shake ideas. And the best part is you'll have the recipes forever. So we'll send you all the recipes at the end of 2 weeks, and you're going to learn a ton while you're there. So we only offer this a couple times a year, but we just thought after the 4 weeks to wellness was over, there were so many people that reached out that said they just couldn't do this time. Why don't we do this? So what's your favorite thing about the shake program, Jess?
I'm just I'm big on the fact that all these shake recipes include whole foods and you can make them ahead of time. Like Michelle said, I've heard that from other people too. One of my current clients is the same thing. She do and refrigerates one, and she said she's never before had a protein powder that she could do that with. It didn't separate and get disgusting.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I just love the idea that I can drink my shake walking down the road with the wagon. So I'm all for it.
Down the road with the wagon. All right, Michelle. So what's your number one reason why people should be doing the shake program with us?
Well, it's such a great opportunity to get their feet wet and to learn a little bit about PFC if they weren't able to do the course. We always give lots of tips and info as with anything that we do. So it's a nice little sneak peek into our lifestyle. And there's so much variety that even if you didn't make every single shake, you're going to be like, oh, I want to do that one. Oh, I want to try that one. I still think I've made all of the ones from our last shake program.
I definitely haven't. I always get stuck on some that I really like and then want to keep making them. So
we're creatures of habits.
We are going to put the link in our post, and we'll be sharing about it all week. But here's the thing. It's totally free. You just have to get 2 bags of protein. I usually say get a bag of chocolate and a bag of vanilla because those are like a lot of our shake recipes are on that. There's often some special flavors too of protein. And so we'll, if any of those are available, that would be a good option for you as well. But we'll just put the link in, but you got to get your order in so you can get it in time for us to start May 31st. So make sure you do that. And we're going to be living the PFC life. Oh, look, we got a little visitor. I love it. Hi. Those of you that are on the podcast, Jess's daughter just popped in, which is what working from home is all about, right? All right, you guys, it was so great to hear about your life and how it's simple, sustainable, and satisfying. And for those of you that are ready to just dip your toe in a little bit and see what it's like and to work with us a little bit more, our coaches all run the shake program. So you're going to have access to them while you're in it. 2 bags of shake. That's all it takes. So we'll put a link in and you can grab that and have at it, right?
Easy.
Easy. All right. Thanks, y'all.
Simple. Bye.
Bye.